because you don't need Sales Navigator to get results at all. You don't need Sales Navigator. But once you understand your ICP and once you're being somewhat consistent on this, the name of the game on how to source leads through LinkedIn to drive revenue is time management. Because now all of a sudden you're up against the fact that there's literally millions and millions of people that you could source. And so how do you optimize your conversions, right? Because what I just showed you for a free LinkedIn, you don't know about these people. So, you could sit and get a list of 10 great people, but then the question becomes, how many of those can you actually open up a conversation? I think hopefully people can see it's definitely possible to source leads on LinkedIn for free, just being intentional. But let's say you want to level up your game. Let's say you're like, no, I kind of get that, but I'm busy. I got a full-time job. I don't want to do this because even what I just did to find one person that might be good took a little bit of time, right? So the next question becomes, how do you source leads using paid LinkedIn?
Paid LinkedIn, right? Yeah.
Because this is where I'm a big advocate for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Are you familiar with LinkedIn Sales Navigator? Do you use Sales Navigator?
Yeah, I've used it on occasion, and a few of my clients do have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So I'll use it for their campaign work. But it's an absolute wonderful tool. Most people, surprisingly, don't even know what it is or that it exists as a tool. But LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I think, is pivotal to some level of success. On LinkedIn.
I'm a big proponent of Sales Navigator. I'm going to walk you through kind of why it's useful for me and how I use it. I have found that some people, I think, are just turned off by the word sales. So when you literally try to tell people to buy a sales product that don't like sales, there's a friction that I've experienced where it's like, some people just don't want what it is. And so I get that, right? That's why I wanted to start with free LinkedIn, because you don't need Sales Navigator to get results at all. You don't need Sales Navigator. But once you understand your ICP and once you're being somewhat consistent on this, the name of the game on how to source leads through LinkedIn to drive revenue is time management. Because now all of a sudden you're up against the fact that there's literally millions and millions of people that you could source. And so how do you optimize your conversions, right? Because what I just showed you for a free LinkedIn, you don't know about these people. So, you could sit and get a list of 10 great people, but then the question becomes, how many of those can you actually open up a conversation with? Are they good? And especially as you do this enough times, you'll start identifying better keywords that are more aligned with your ICP. So for example, in this use case, maybe I just want to go after benefit brokers. Maybe if I want to go after benefit brokers that have been in the business for a certain amount of years in a particular region, you're limited in your targeting criteria on LinkedIn. It's just the way it works because they literally want you to pay. So the benefit of Sales Navigator is it offers advanced Boolean searching. Boolean searching basically means that you can filter by ands and ors very easily. So classical search of what I just did, HR tech and benefit brokers, it'll give you results, but you're limited in just like first, second, or third degree. But what if I want to start filtering by, have they recently changed jobs? How long have they been in the same job? How many people are in the company that they work for, right? Because a benefit broker that works for themselves or in a small boutique agency with 5 other benefit brokers is just different than one that works as a VP at a large company. The sales process is different. Maybe if I'm trying to find collaborative partners who are entrepreneurially minded, I need to filter by that. That's just the way it works. And Sales Navigator allows for that. My favorite filter on Sales Navigator is you could filter by posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days.
Yes.
I always use this because I'm trying to optimize my time management. And so even though a profile, even though somebody that has, everything about what we showed Amy might be ideal on paper, sometimes you find people that might not have posted in the last 30 days. So for example, they could be on vacation, they could be, they're just not active in this moment. And so if I'm trying to get results in 30 days, I want to know that people are checking LinkedIn. To me, it's kind of a deal breaker if they're not going to see it. And there's no way on free LinkedIn to be able to search for that. So if I search for
there isn't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm limited by, what's available, right? So if I do people, I can only filter by, I have to pay for seniority. You could do location.
If you go to all filters, you get a few more, but there still isn't filtering by when they last posted.
Yeah.
Or when they changed jobs. So
or company headcount. Like how big of a company they work at, how seniority level. That's where it gets complicated. So let's dive into sales now.